work, school, not to mention relationships and the need for free time. Every day, we are completely and utterly absorbed in our activities. However, there are some people who may be less busy, filling the spare time with entertainment through various means, such as watching videos on YouTube, Netflix, or Disney+. In short, there are many distractions that force us to look away from our core. Yes, because in most cases, the result is always the same: not thinking. As time goes by, we abandon ourselves to a succession of events without really thinking too deeply about what is happening inside or around us. If we are lucky, one day we may decide to look up and take notice. In that moment, we realize something has changed. The company of friends no longer amuses us as much as before. Even our partner seems to be a different person than the one we knew. We feel more and more the unpleasant feelings of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. By the time we realize it, it's already too late. We feel awful and we don't know what to do. We would just like to erase our suffering and go back to when everything was fine. A metaphorical reset button, so to speak. Yeah, but why do we suffer? To answer this question, we need to imagine our lives as if they were huge and complex video games, composed of multiple levels that intersect with each other. Indeed, there is a level for work, leisure, family, and friends, all of which fall into the macro category of relationships. Let's try to focus on one of these, such as love. We meet a person we like and click almost immediately. Then we try to get to know each other better, accumulating experience points. We have a coffee, take a walk, go out to dinner. Somewhere along the way, we level up and fall in love. Everything seems wonderful, and the only thing we want is to be with that person. We are living a dreamlike life, although we can feel this level is a little more difficult than the previous one. We are touchier, we start to argue a lot more, we begin to notice small things we don't like. Maybe it's the hair or the way they cook their meals. Moreover, the more we play, the more things deteriorate, and those small annoyances become like fingernails on the chalkboard of our sanity. Our partner increasingly takes on the appearance of a boss that is really hard to beat. Our experience points and newly acquired skills are worth nothing. The misunderstandings continue to increase out of all proportion until just a single word becomes capable of throwing us down.
Game over.
So we just turn off the console. We think back to the beginning when everything was easier. It would be nice to go back to those times, but now we have become too strong to start again from the previous levels. So we consider starting from scratch with a new game, even though at that point we would know all the challenges by heart and it would no longer be fun. We would be playing the same game over and over again, only to find ourselves always stuck at that point that we just can't get past. This is where the suffering takes over. We are hurting because we don't see a solution. We feel at a standstill, too grown up to turn back, but also too weak to move forward. So we remain in a limbo made of memories, where we prefer to focus our attention on a boss too difficult to defeat rather than on what could be next. Why then not try to look at things from a different perspective? Why, instead of focusing on the frustration of defeat, not focus on the desire to level up? Suffering is, first of all, a signal, whose aim is not to bring us down, but to warn us that something is changing. In those moments, we think that everything is over, when in reality, we are faced with the possibility of a major turning point in our lives. What makes the difference is how much we are willing to listen to this warning and consequently the choices we decide to make to deal with it. One solution, for example, may be to seek professional help. This option is usually left for last. Going to a so-called shrink is still perceived as a personal failure, albeit it is exactly the opposite. Asking for help brings out the courage and determination to become fully aware of what's happening to us and to overcome the obstacle that keeps us stuck in limbo. It's a bit like watching gameplays on YouTube, with the difference being that the psychologist doesn't pass the level for you. It helps you to understand how to continue on your own in a game that is different from the norm, in which the bosses are not to be eliminated but rather become a stimulus to become even stronger. After all, that's the beauty of life. We are talking about a giant game, certainly frustrating at times, but extremely exciting to play. And realizing the rules to the game are the first steps towards winning it. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my episode. Please, for any information, send an email to teampsyche@gmail.com and check out my official website www.psycheofficial.com.